And we're live. Good afternoon. This is Jim Miller with the Bright Business Talk Show. And we have purpose driven business conversations. And this show today is brought to you by Bright Business Project. And that's at brisness.com, brisines.com, right there. And check that out after the show. But yeah, that's our sponsor today. We're going to have a little bit of more information about what's going on at Business later on in the program. But right now, I'm excited to get an opportunity to speak with Stephanie Davis. The show today, we're gonna chat with Stephanie about her purpose-driven life and business, and she is an accountant. She owns her own company, CS Financial, and I'm going to bring her on right now and introduce her. So here we go. See if I can make this work. There's Stephanie. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. How have you been?
Oh, doing great. Doing great. It's been crazy busy. Just opened up a brokerage account and bought a bunch of AI stocks.
Oh, sounds like you're trying to diversify your portfolio.
Well, it's right. Yeah, right. Right now, it is my portfolio, but it's
hmm
because I haven't been into stocks at all. I've been just kind of messing around with funds and different things. So I'm venturing out into this new world for me of buying individual stocks, and it's
Right.
exciting. I got to tell you, the adrenaline level is high. So yeah, it's fun. I like checking the stock ticker all the time now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going crazy with it, but that's fun. What's going on with you? How's life treating you these days?
Well, it is today is the last day of extension season for business returns, so it's been a little bit hectic.
Yeah, I bet. So you got the businesses are scrambling to get their taxes done before that. When's that 5 o'clock today that happens?
We actually have until about I always say 11 o'clock. It's actually midnight. We have to have it in by 11:59. So yeah,
11:50. Yeah, I bet you
eleven
have like
fifty
all these
nine
people. Yeah.
for our
Oh, I
last
gotta
minute
hit go
host.
live on Instagram. Hang on a second. Sorry, Instagram, I forgot you again. So we're live on Instagram now too. So we're live on Facebook in LinkedIn. We're on YouTube in a couple of places, and we're also now on Instagram. So
Good.
here we are. Chime in and come on. I think you can go to brisines.com on LinkedIn, and you can find us there live right now and chime in, say hi during the show. So I want to go in and embarrass Stephanie now and read.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to read her bio. So Stephanie, she this gal is amazing. She's had her own business for 10 plus years, right?
Yeah, it's been about
Yeah,
almost 25 now.
almost. Oh wow. Okay, I'm sorry. So 25 years. So you're Stephanie is the president and CEO of CS Financial Services Inc.
Right.
And Stephanie's oversees all aspects of finance, client development, and IT development, including unified communications, cloud and virtualization deployment, and software and hardware security protocols. Wow. So that's a lot. That's a mouthful right there for someone like me. I'm just a sales and marketing guy, but you're really into figuring out where the problems are
Yeah.
and coming up with solutions. And I heard tell that you were somewhat of a sleuth for being a forensic, not a certified, but you're really good at finding problems and
Yes.
fixing.
Yes. My
So,
job is I'm a problem solver. I find the problems, I fix the problems. My mom has always called me the fireman because I go in and put out the fires. So,
okay, all right,
but
cool.
yeah.
So, give us a story. Do you have any stories about that from companies you've worked with?
Yeah, I've actually um in in the earlier part of my career, I actually did I used to do work in a lot with mergers and acquisitions, and I was the person who would have to go in and tell everybody thank you, but we no longer need your job. Your job's being replaced. But before that, it's also going in and kind of being undercover because you have to figure out what's going on, what's being hidden or not
So wait
being.
a minute. You said earlier, just now, you said, what was it that you said you did?
Mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah, and what was your primary role during
My
that?
my role was to conclude the merger. So usually it was a larger company taking over smaller entities, and it is the the combining of positions basically. When the new company takes over, a lot of times they can't keep, for whatever reason, they can't usually keep all of the people that are already there. So my job is to actually go in and find out which positions are actually useful and still needed or
Okay.
have to be eliminated. And
And
usually,
how was that? How did you feel about doing that?
I am the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
I would always come in as the temp. So I
Yeah,
am,
it's like nobody wanted to know you. People,
nobody
you walk in
knows
the room, they're
me,
like,
nobody
"Oh, Stephanie's
cares.
here."
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just the temp to fill in. So nobody pays any attention to me and I get my work done.
Uh,
And that allows me to be able to see what's really going on in the business, who's doing what, who really is doing what. There's I'm a disinterested third party, so there's no nepotism with me. So
right. Yeah. Well, it's great. From the
yeah,
owner's perspective, what was the benefit to the owner of the company to do that? The
to
new
the
owner,
owner,
I would say.
to the new owners, it's great because they are getting real experience, real time work. Who's really going to do the work as opposed to what they think is going to happen because they're not here on the ground in the weeds basically.
Uh-huh.
I'm with the everyday people who have to come in, do the work, get it done, and I can see who really does know what they're doing and who really doesn't know what they're doing, and I just report back. So I don't actually make the final decision. I never make the final decision on any of that. I just report my findings.
Sure.
So I've done that. And so because I worked in that particular arena, it just kind of led to other like, ooh, what else can I get into? So as even as an accountant working with other firms, you need to understand what's going on before you can help fix anything that's going on. And usually that's when I have been able to this un, uncover fraudulent behaviors. And
Mm.
so that's always interesting because usually it's smaller family run businesses. They have a very high trust level, but the people unfortunately that are working for them are usually just taking advantage of the situation. I've run into that a lot of times where, and it's always the bookkeeper, which is really sad. It's
It's
the
always who?
bookkeeper. Yeah, it's very sad because they have so much power, they have too much control over everything, and eventually, they abuse it. So yeah.
Mm. So, do you have any examples? Anything you can share?
Yeah. There was a air condition, very very well-to-do air conditioning company. They had a bookkeeper that was in there, and she was. I don't know why anybody didn't figure that one out. Was kind of a quickie for me to find, but she was. They didn't have processes set up for or a secure process to sign checks and
Mhm.
to validate voided checks and to make sure that anything that had been written had been actually properly destroyed and verified. And she was basically writing checks to the air conditioning company where they get the actual air conditioning companies from, saying that it was an error, voided out, the amount still signed and on the check, and then she would just adjust it and was only sending partials to the company and she was keeping a portion of it. And that had been going on for, I don't know, I think by the time I had seen it, it was been going on for at least a year. And she started with little, as always, these fraud stories start with small amounts to see if they can get away with it. And then it just gets bigger and bigger, bigger because nobody's catching it. She had control over the signatory. So after a certain dollar amount, typically it has to have two signatures. And because the owners were usually in the field working, they needed to not hold up processes in the office, so they had stamps,
Mm.
name stamps, and that's how she was doing it. She had she had signing ability, and then she would use the stamp on it. So it was just not a good idea. But it
Yeah.
she
But she got away with it for sounds like quite a while.
she got away with it for over a year, and when they did catch her, she had quit. She quit before she got caught. And then
Okay.
when I went back and explained to him, I said, "Can you get in touch with her because you need to go ahead and start process this because it was well over a $500,000 that she had stolen."
Wow.
Yeah,
And
and
they didn't see that?
that's what happens. The businesses are doing well. They are doing projects very well, but what happens is that the vendor relations break because they're actually stealing by not paying the bills like they're supposed to be paying. So they're getting
Uh-huh.
paid, but they're not actually paying the vendor like they should be paying. And because they pay the vendor large amounts, because air conditioning units are not cheap, um,
Right.
they don't notice it right away. It's it's not unheard of to send a $15,000 check for an air
Sure.
conditioning
Oh,
unit.
yeah.
And if you're ordering five, well,
Right. Yeah. So you can kind of hide some little things in there. Where
exactly.
do you see, uh, we've got Bob Donnell has chimed in. He says, "Wow." I
Hmm.
agree, Bob.
Yeah.
But he's, it's like that's amazing. How does somebody like? How do you help a business? Does it take someone to have an M&A, a merger and acquisition event happen for you to come in and do these things, or can a small business owner or any business owner
Hmm.
bring someone like you in to do these things on a annual? When would it make sense? Annual or how
It
long
it
between
makes
sessions?
sense. It makes sense to well, possibly annually or even twice a year. Just having someone outside, especially smaller family-run businesses. Um,
Mhm.
Everything is very tight knit. That's the problem, and usually nobody wants to give up control. But they need to have somebody outside to look in and make sure, just to verify and validate their processes, to make sure that things are going smoothly, or give them feedback on what kind of adjustments they are trying to make so that they can have a strong business. Um, Especially if it's making a lot of money. If it is really making a lot of money, planning is really important, and it's not how many more things can we sell, how are we spacing out the work, and that way you can uh, keep everybody honest. You know,
Mm.
it sometimes it's a matter, like with this particular instance, it was just a matter of one person had control over signing both signatures on a check. So had somebody else been had to sign a check, actually have two live signatures or two wet signatures on a check over, you know, $50,000, that could have stopped a lot of these processes. Very simple things. But because they're in the field, nobody's like, oh, we got to get this check out right away. It's like, no, have a schedule, and making sure people stick to their schedules. If you're going to sign checks once a week, then you just have to come in once a week and sign the checks and review them so that you can verify everything's there. So it's just a matter of putting processes in order. And
Mhm.
a lot of times, most small businesses don't have an actual process set up so that they can make sure that they are functioning to their best ability. Because you always have to, consider the bus run over by the bus move. What if somebody gets
Yeah, it sounds like it's like pay me now. It's like that old pay me now or pay me later thing with you.
yeah.
You
So
bring
having
you in as a forensic and find out that you've been getting ripped off and having to recover from that gal from the
it's
HVAC
hard.
company.
It's
You
hard.
can't. I mean, that money's gone, baby.
The
I mean, you
money's
can
gone.
litigate, but sometimes you can't get blood out of a stone, right?
And they're, I and it's hard because especially with businesses, you don't want to hurt anybody, and that's always their thing. They're like, well, she kind of needed this. It's like, no, what she did was wrong. She should have asked for it instead of stole it. And Granted, you don't want to cause people harm, but do you really want to be responsible for sending that person on to the next company to do the same thing because they got away with it with yours?
Right. Yeah.
So, but so it's kind
Wow.
of pushing a bad spot. Plus, it messes up a lot of your vendor relationships. It can mess up your terms with your vendors. If you've got great terms where you've got, net 10, net 10, 30,
Who has
then
net 10 anymore?
some of these big ones do. If you can pay within 10 days, you get a 10% discount, 10% net 10, and then, and if
Okay.
otherwise you pay in 30 days, right?
Right. Or
That can,
60 or 90 or 120.
right, if you're
The
really
bigger
good,
companies, I don't know. I've found a lot of the bigger companies don't pay you for
45
60
at
days.
least.
Yeah.
But if
So
you're doing that and you finally worked up this great relationship, this person has now ruined this relationship with you, your
yeah.
your 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 vendor, and you've got to start all over again. And the trust is broken, because they're just people on the other side. They don't know what's going on in your business. They can't say that they trust you anymore. And so that really hurts the business too,
Hmm.
especially small businesses. They
So
they need that
what's the
cash flow.
process to get, so if somebody wanted to ask you some questions about this and was curious to know more, what could they do? Should we send them to your phone?
Yeah, I'm always available to schedule a 30-minute meeting to kind of reevaluate what's going on. You can call my phone. We can set up an appointment, and we're good. And I'll take the time to sit up and talk to you so we can figure out what it is that you're doing and how we can improve it. Because you're doing something right because you're still in business, but
Hmm.
can we make it better? That's what my job is, to help make it better.
Yeah, that's cool. So you've been a member of the Bright Business System for a while now. You're one of the charter members, I believe.
Yes, yes.
We were getting together sitting on egg crates for a while when we got started,
Cool
and
coffee houses.
so it's been a bit of a journey, but it's fun, right?
Yes, it has been.
What's your biggest takeaway right now for the growth that's happening in the Bright Business System?
With the Bright Businesses, I'm so glad to see more members getting involved, because this is kind of like that little baby you saw. It was an idea, now it's grown up into a small
Yeah, right.
toddler.
Yeah, it's
So
fun to watch.
it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, and it's
And participate. It's like I was able to go do a talk last week in Irvine to the group, and we talked about leadership and AI. That's
mhm.
what I got to chat about. And it was a blast, and some great questions, and had a good discussion. It was really a fun
Yeah.
experience for me. And I've had actually people come back and say, let's talk about that some more. We didn't get a chance to get all our questions answered and explore that. So
Yeah,
that's something to look forward to.
that's awesome, because a lot of times what happens is that business owners are heads down in their business. They don't
Right.
kind of have that time. So this is a support for those businesses who are trying to actually grow, but need to work. We all have to work in the business so we can get the funding, especially if you're new in the business, or just or you're at a stalemate. You were growing, and then kind of bottomed out, or it's stagnated, whatever. When we're trying to move past those points, it's so nice to have someone there who's done something different. You want to talk to the people, not that you can't learn from the people who are at the same point, but you want to learn from the people who have already gotten through the point. And you want to be able to do it in a fashion where you're comfortable talking to them, and they can really they understand your struggle. They understand the
Yeah.
struggle.
Yeah. Bob says thank you for sharing. We shared his wow. Um, so always loved having you with us, Bob, and thank you for your comments and participating. It's always appreciated. Thank you. Well, that's great, Stephanie. I think that's a great segue. I wanted to bring Florin Dumayan, who's the founder of the Bright Business System, to chat a little bit with us about what's going on. Florin, you ready? And if we can bring you on to the stage here. There's Florin. How you doing today? Oh, got your ears on.
I'm good now. I just I wanted to jump in a conversation, Stephanie. Remember when we had the Bright Business Riverside? We were like for 2 hours during the class, and then I spent another 2 hours, maybe more, in the parking lot. All right.
Yes, the early days.
Yeah. But we'll never forget this, at least not on my end. So this is kind of what happened in Irvine last week. I wish more people could make it, but even our group, after the event should finish at the event should end at 7, but we're still in the room until 8, and the manager or whatever, the person in charge of the event from IKEA, they kind of ask us to leave, just go. And, and guess what? We end up in the parking lot again, another 45 minutes or so. And I remember the times when we started. So yeah.
Sorry. Well, Florin, I wanted you to. I brought this up. Sorry about that. A little premature.
No, okay.
Let's go with it. So I wanted you to kind of set this up. I want to show this to everybody and play it. But can you set it up for us?
To set up
What do we got here?
You want me to click, or what should I do?
No, I'll do it. I'll set it. I'll set it to. But just tell me what this is.
Oh yeah, this is a little promo I did this weekend about our clubs to continue our conversation. The idea is, like Stephanie, you said, most entrepreneurs, the business owners, they are alone. I'm one of them. I was alone, and I met a lot of people. They kind of not complying, but kind of accept this. You know, it's hard to say I'm alone. I struggle with the business. Sometimes when you go to networking events, you just try to shine. But the reality, most of the entrepreneurs are alone. And the in-person clubs, the one in Corona, Carlsbad, or Irvine, they want to bring business owners outside from their office and connect and have a meaningful opportunities to connect, not just to exchange business cards and keep it at that very superficial level. So yeah, this is the message. You are not alone, and we are here to support local entrepreneurs, local business owners.
Okay, so you can look for this. This is posted right now up on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, cool. So let me play it so people can see it, and then we can chat and see what it is.
Running a business.
Let's say again.
What?
You ready?
Yeah, please.
Okay, here we go. Tell me if you can hear it or you can't.
This is tough. Now the question is, running a business is tough. Now the question is, do you ever feel like you are alone on this business journey with no one to share your wins or talk about your challenges? And now imagine being part of a trusted community of business owners and business experts, all working together to solve problems and capture opportunities. Imagine a place where you can lead workshops and talk about your business and get the support you need. Imagine a place where you are a part of a reliable circle of trust. Now let me tell you a secret. That's what Bright Business Clubs are all about. I want to invite you to join our next monthly meeting in Carlsbad, Corona, or Irvine, and explore if we are a good fit for your business needs. Till then, stay bright, my friends.
All right, there's a QR code. People can grab that QR code, hop right onto the website. So very cool.
Yeah. Thank you. So
that was great, man. That was really good. You just put that together this week, right?
Yeah, this weekend. And we're going to have a few more tutorials. And now talking about one of the key elements of the program, having the workshops and our members to share their expertise. And now I want to take this opportunity to invite you, Stephanie, to put together that workshop about numbers and decision-making process. because as you know, we start since August. We start rolling the curriculum, the Bright Business Operating System, the curriculum, and this month we're talking about solving challenges. I hope you can make it in Corona Wednesday, and I'll have an announcements about this. And probably somewhere at the end of the year, we're gonna talk about numbers. Even tomorrow, with Mike, tomorrow with our members only marketing and sales group, we're gonna talk about marketing and sales strategy and action plan. But we're gonna start with numbers, and I really encourage you to join us tomorrow morning as well, and assist us to look at numbers and from here to build a marketing strategy. So yeah, I want to take I want to use this opportunity to make these two announcements, or to let people know about two events we have this week. So like I said, tomorrow from 9 a.m. online, for members only, we have the marketing and sales group. This is distinct program than any another online or in-person program, because here we will work on building our marketing strategy. So our members should have a well-designed marketing and sales strategy in place. On one side. On the other side, we want our members not only to support or build support each other and build business operating systems, but in the same time to generate quality leads and close sales. This is one of the key elements in our program.
So Florian, if somebody wants to join that, hop on to that Zoom call tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Pacific, can they do that without being a member?
No, it's closed to members.
That's a members only program. So member.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about what we have open for non-members, because we do have a lot of opportunities for non-members to join, to connect with us. So
so they can go to business.com and learn about that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
They have all our events on the first.
We had a couple of new members coming on. Do you have, can you say a little bit about that?
Yeah, I will right now. So tomorrow from 9 a.m. is on Zoom, members only, this marketing and sales group. We'll meet for 1 hour every month. Then Wednesday, this is huge. We meet in Corona for 2 hours. This is in person, open to local business owners.
Okay, so that's a live event in Corona.
In person, live. And why is huge? Because this month in all clubs, including the Business Lab, we focus on solving business challenges, business problems.
Right. And Stephanie, will you be there?
Yeah,
Stephanie. Okay.
I will be there.
Yeah. And do we have another 2 members? They're going to speak. They're going to cover different topics. And Yvette and Mark Miller. Looks like we have 3 Millers right now in our community. And Mark Miller is one of the new members. So,
okay, good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I want to welcome him. I invite him now to say hello. I don't know if he can do it on LinkedIn. And also we have a few new members who just joined our community. I want to welcome Beverly Rubio. She's an AI enthusiast, and around Beverly, Dali, and Fernanda, and probably you now, we're gonna build an AI group in our community.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm digging AI now. I'm all into it.
Yeah. So Dali is a new member as well. He joined a month ago, and the last Thursday.
And he's he went to Europe, didn't he? He's doing a fashion show.
No, he's in China right now. He
in
just
China.
left Thursday. Yeah.
He publishes. He does fashion shows, and he publishes on Harper's Bazaar and all the big fashion.
Well, he's a pretty well-known photographer, and
it's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. An Oxford graduate, and in fact, Joseph Choi, the one who's leading the the club in Irvine. He's an UCI graduate and pretty well connected person in Orange County. We're so glad to have him. And yeah, and now going back, jumping from Irvine to Carlsbad, I just talked this morning with Sanami. Sanami, she's going to be a mom soon, and she cannot stop working. She's so busy, so she's working so hard to build the club in San Diego, in Carlsbad. So
Yeah, I love her posts. She comes on. She posts on LinkedIn and Facebook, and she's doing a great job. I guess see pictures of her with her kids, and she got her little one in the oven there. She's
yeah,
really
so she's so dedicated to build out the club there and find the right partner. So we're talking this day, brainstorming for 1 hour with Mike Miller about attracting partners, quality partners for the club in San Diego. So yeah, good quality people are joining us, and this is just the beginning.
awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Florin. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much. And
Yeah.
I would like to thank you so much. And I would tease Stephanie to tell us more, because I know she's about cybersecurity. So she's such a huge resource for business. It's not just an accountant.
What about cybersecurity? Tell us about that. What's going on with you and cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity was something that I kind of like, ooh, really? I could do this? Because
Okay.
it was something new, and it was more involved with the tech side of things, which was very interesting to me. Because I usually work with medical practices, we're very familiar with you know the rules and regulations and all of the things that you have to do to stay consistent and in line. So cybersecurity became really big for us right before COVID.
Yeah.
Just right before COVID, it started gaining a lot of traction, and trying to make our firm uh, ready for this. We were discovering all of the things that were necessary. And when you started reading the rules, it was like, oh my goodness. So crap rolls downhill. So if so I'll let you say. Yes, right. So basically, even though we could be compliant as a firm, if all of the people we're working with, even including our clients, are not compliant, we could be in trouble. I was like, hey, wait a minute, whoa, 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 why am I in
So
trouble for
you
this?
could
You
end
could
up
do
with
this.
some serious. What kind of serious problems could they end up with that?
If there is a breach, let's just start at 10,000 and go from there up.
Okay,
For
that doesn't
each
sound good to me.
No, and that's for each infraction that you can run into. That's just
So
the beginning.
what exactly is a cybersecurity breach? How would you recognize
Yes.
that?
Well, that's when your information gets hacked. You can't the really big ones are when you have no access to your information because they have locked it behind a wall. But
Uh-huh.
it could be as simple as, you've gotten somebody's, you've got credit card terminals, and somebody's put a dummy thing on top of the credit card terminal, and they're now taking the credit card numbers and information as somebody's swiping their credit cards. And it's in your office. You're responsible for that. That's a breach. You've released all
How
this
would somebody
information into the
find
wild.
that?
Huh?
How do you find something like that?
Well, that's what the cybersecurity is for. It's to help prepare you. There's no way you're going to be prepared for everything. Let's just face it, we're not going to be prepared for everything. But if you don't have,
Lauren, what's that? You gotta go potty?
I have a question for
Just chime
Stephanie.
in, man. Just ask.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt because it's a pleasure to listen to you, Stephanie. But my question is, you can help, or how you as an accountant can handle this cybersecurity, or where's the connection? For me,
okay,
as I'm a small business owner, so you're an accountant, and how can you help?
as a small business, as a client of mine, anybody that I would work with, I would need I'm going to make sure that you're just as compliant as I am, because not for a few reasons. First, it keeps me from having my, errors and admissions and my insurance being skyrocketing because somebody could screw me up. But also
Mhm.
it helps you, it protects you, because if you have a breach and you don't have insurance, the repercussions could be in the millions of dollars. It could literally shut your business down.
Mhm.
Once you get
So
through with all of the process and the reporting to the government, because certain breaches after a certain dollar amount or a certain amount of people are involved, you can't even not pretend like it didn't happen, because there's the remediation that's involved to the people that have been hurt. That could literally shut your business down, and it's probably going to get to the point where you can't get out of not paying those people by declaring bankruptcy because you've done harm to them. So having all of these things in order, and by having when you work with when you work with my firm, I'm going to run you through the paces. If you don't have all of these things in place, you are going to sign off on it. And if you don't
okay.
want to do it, if you don't have
So,
it, we help you get it fixed. If you
so
don't
BA,
want it, we got to let you go.
I got you. So you're not gonna kind of put me to pay more or more to pay more for insurance. So you're not gonna kind of how can I say
I will
uh,
help you get set up with the insurance. I don't offer the insurance. I'm not an insurance person. But what it is basically I set up the plan for you, and I make sure that the people that you need to talk to, so if it's not in my wheelhouse, which insurance is not in my wheelhouse, you will be put with the insurance company that you know, I have relationships with the insurance companies to work with my clients and make sure that they are covered, not over or under, but what they need.
okay. So you already created, so you have a list. It's not like you are overselling me something. So I'm just looking for accountant, and now I got into a list of problems or extra expenses I have
Mm-mm.
to pay for it, which was not part of the plan at the beginning. But
Right.
you are just helping. You have all this. So most of the accountants, they just go through the numbers, they get the job done, they get paid, and that's it. They don't really care about. So what you're saying, you have a holistic approach to numbers, to the business.
Absolutely. Because if,
That,
you know, fixing one spot is great, but it's like if you've got four flat tires, is fixing one going to work?
love it.
It's a good
Love it.
analogy.
You know, do they had a chance to connect with Suzanne? Suzanne,
Yeah,
she's
we
in
work.
HR. Yeah, she's in Corona.
If
She's
you
in
need
HR.
HR, but that's the beauty of Bright Business Group and the clubs, because once you connect with one of the members, even if I don't have everything, there's members in every different avenue, and I can push to put you to the next one. Once you get this part fixed, and we can build the strategy plan for your business so that you're not doing too many things at the same time. You focus on what you need to focus on. Once this is done, check this off and move to the next thing so that you can keep growing your business without feeling like you're running around with like a chicken without your head.
Right,
So
right, right.
that's the
I
whole
love
purpose
that.
of the
And
club.
this is exactly you nail it, Stephanie. It's exactly what we talked this morning with Mike. He said, "Okay, we can go and support a company, our this prospect we're working right now to be a sponsor. We can go because we have. It's what he said. We have the specialists in our team, and we can elaborate different strategies or different programs to support a specific business because we
Right.
do have the people. And now going back to Suzanne and our people, I love because you and Suzanne have the same approach to business. So she's an HR specialist, but
Hmm.
she has exactly your approach, a holistic approach. She's not just HR or the compliances and all this boring part. No, she takes a look at your business overall. And she try to understand what is your business all about, and then work with you exactly like you say.
Yeah, you can't do anything for anybody if you don't understand what's going on. Simple as
Yeah.
that. You should know what you're doing, but if you don't understand how it relates to everything else, to A, B, C, and D, you're not really helpful.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. This is the value we should share with people. So people understand they do not work with Stephanie just because she's an accountant. She has a holistic understanding and approach to your business. This is the quality. This is
It's
how
Stephanie too. How many languages do you know? Are you fluent in?
A few.
I heard
Huh?
like 5+ or something.
Yes.
Well, yeah. So it's like, wow.
Yeah. No,
you can work internationally anywhere if you wanted to, and do what you do, and have
Let's go.
You love to travel, right?
I do. So that's the goal. I want to be
Yeah.
able to. I figure if you can't talk to people in their own language, why are you asking them to talk in yours?
Well, and two, being, doing what you do, going in, like you said at the beginning, being a fly on the wall, you got to know how to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
having those language skills, I think, would be a tremendous advantage. And on the other side of that, an opportunity for business owners, people who are doing M&A work, to have you on their team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're privileged to have you with the Bright Business System.
Thank you. Glad to be here. This is kind of like, this was the dream. It was like, really, people who actually want to get stuff done. Wow.
Yeah. These are doers. These people, it's one of the characteristics, I think, of people who are joining this program, or they're doers. And doers are doers because they're focused and they're driven, and they have they have a need, like a sliver in their side. It's like, I need to get this done, and they do, but they're looking for the easiest, most efficient way to do it. And Florin's done an awesome job of putting together this whole system for everybody to accomplish those things, and I'm excited to be part of it.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. And I'm still curious, Stephanie, remind me the languages you speak. I know one of them is.
She's so embarrassed. She's like, no, I don't want to tell you. She's like,
no. You should let us know.
Well, I speak English. There's Spanish. There's Hindi. A little bit of Punjabi, but I speak Italian, and my French is kind of gone away, but I speak French and Portuguese.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
You said something about Arabic?
Oh, yes, in Arabic.
Just throw that one in. Like,
Arabic, yes. It's
so
conversational Arabic.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Wow.
So yeah, any business owners out there, or people who are doing mergers and acquisitions that are looking to have someone who's an expert, and I might add, a really nice person.
Oh, thank you.
Fun to be around and just easy to be with. Stephanie's your gal.
Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I always wanted to travel. I figured I had a boring enough job. I needed to learn something exciting. So if you want to pay me to travel, I'm all for it. I'll learn the language.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you could.
So we gotta
get down there for a bit.
Yeah. Talking about this. This is what you meet one person, that person can talk over and over again, and you remember one thing at the end, one sentence, and you put a label on top of that person. And the same thing happened with us, Stephanie, right? So I don't know what is my label, but I know your label on my end.
So I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you, Stephanie.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you to say a phrase in pick a language. Say Arabic.
Okay.
So you ready? You up for it?
Let's not do Arabic.
Which one? Okay, which one do you want to do?
Let's stick to Hindi.
Okay, Hindi. All right. So here's the phrase: the rain in Spain.
Oh my God. Okay, so you understand that colloquial words like that do not translate into other languages.
No, I don't. I'm an idiot.
Yes.
What could I say?
No. Sentences structure for English is not the same in most other languages, so it doesn't translate well.
Do you think I'd know the difference? You could say anything.
It doesn't make sense. because we use it. It's to speak. When you use words in English to speak, to learn how to enunciate, it does.
Uh-huh.
The word is not the same in the other language, so it doesn't make sense. What
So
you're
okay, so we need to pre-translate that phrase so you can
Yeah,
say it
yeah.
in English.
So you could,
Okay,
because
so
it's
what
to
would that phrase
understand how
be?
to, ugh. Because it's to pronounce a word. It wouldn't. The word's not the same. So it would be like just more or less like doing common phrases like, um, how are you? How's your day? Going to this, or the weather's this. This is more a
Mhm.
common thing because those are questions that are asked in most languages. But to enunciate a word, that is specific to the language that you're trying to speak.
Okay,
So,
how about like
like for
something
instance,
simple
if
like
I said, Namaste, aapka sehe, how are
Okay.
you today? Who are you and what's your name?
okay,
Aapka naam, or how are you doing? So
Okay.
it's just a common phrase. So namaste, aapka sehe, that's hello, how are you? It's
okay,
Hindi for hello, how are
yeah,
you?
all right, cool. So that's
Okay.
fun.
I would stay here for now the foreign languages, and I would focus more on a little bit of a purpose. I don't forget my idea of the label, and I had I forgot the country now where you wanted to relocate.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
no,
well, I'm thinking, I was thinking of a South American country, but we'll
no, no,
see.
no. You said something next to Guatemala. What was? Uh, um,
We had talked a couple of spots, so I was looking at, and Costa Rica's starting to become an actual
yeah. Okay. Maybe it was
thought
Costa
process.
Rica. So this is I remember. Okay, something like this. I think it was Costa Rica or another country, and that the same spot. So I know
Mhm.
Senami, Costa Rica. Senami, good place. So whatever I had in my mind since I started learning about your business journey and your let's say purpose. Um, was about you building something and relocating and from there to do something good. And I wouldn't let you go before talking about your purpose a little bit. Do you have a purpose?
Well, my purpose was to be able to streamline all of my business so that I could work from wherever. That is my goal. I don't want to be tied to one location because I do want to
Yeah,
travel. My still my plan, but my original plan was to be able to test this theory because I want to go to India for about a 9 month stay, and I need to be able to work. I need to be able to talk to my clients. So I wanted to be able to travel through India and be able to still have my practice running so that I could handle and not be have to be in it day to day. So the have everything set up so that it can run without me being the bottleneck because that is a 12 to
yeah,
13 hour time difference. So when it's day there, it's night here and vice versa. And I didn't want things held up, and I want to work on my schedule and be able to have everybody do things on their schedule, and everything worked well. So it was my process was to get everything ordered, get those business roles, get the SOPs together, and make sure things would function. So I was almost there for a test run, for a short test run. And that's just even, I appreciate the fact because I travel back east to New York, New Jersey, all of those areas, and I appreciate the fact that I have 3 extra hours. I'm up before you guys are. So I'm up, I've got stuff done, and by the time you get it, I'm on to something else and I don't have to wait for anybody here. So I appreciate that. And also when you go to Hawaii, you know, when I'm here, I'm almost 5 hours ahead. So it's like I gotta do things and I have to wait for you to get up to get it done. But it's there ready for you to go. And when you get it back to me, I can do it in the next day with no
yeah.
problem. So I wanted to set the schedules up like that so that I could I could take advantage of those time differences to get the work done and not stress everybody out. I am not the person that has to micromanage. You have a schedule, you're an adult, I expect you to act like one, and I shouldn't have to babysit you. I only have one child and she's an adult. and she doesn't have to have me watch over her. I don't want to watch over her.
Wonderful. Yeah. Before, however, I'm sorry, Jim. I want one more question because I know at the end,
Go for it,
this is about the business model.
Great.
It's something I want to see this business model working because you have so much to do. And the reason I ask you about the purpose is the Project Tribe in Riverside you are involved in. And I know you are very modest. You don't want to talk about the good things you do for the community, but you're very active in that program. And
Was
we
that
have
Project Thrive?
Tribe, yeah.
Thrive.
So, what is that all about?
Okay, so Thrive is it is a workforce basically to create jobs in the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties. I have been a part of the process for about a year, a little over a year now, and it was really kind of nice because we finally got through the first round of grants that we were just doing. So we're trying to finish that, and we're getting ready to hit the second round of grants. It was a grant that was given this area by the state of California to disperse among small, medium-sized businesses, nonprofits, businesses that qualify to create more businesses, more engagement between the two, in this area. And it's based on they do the 5 to 10 year projections of what they see the areas doing going forward. So they just finished that. We're getting that done. We're trying to attract better quality businesses out here, and then encourage business owners to start their businesses. We all understand that small businesses are the background and the backbone of communities. The reason businesses are big is because they started small and they started in an area. And when you have that, it actually creates a better community because those are the ones that do most of the hiring in the area. So we want to give more support, not just to the larger businesses that come in, but also to the smaller businesses to keep them going.
Yeah.
And this project, I'm very grateful to be able to sit on some of the boards and be able to help with that, because without that backbone, without that support, that's why we have the disparity that we see within the communities when there's not enough support. And so the goal of this is to actually help those communities that don't get enough help to actually thrive and create a better system. But it's a lot of training. So to create the
business.
Do
they have a website?
Yes, Thrive SoCal. Let me see if I can pull up that link for you, and I'll give it to you.
What is your job? Meanwhile, what is your job in this project?
Actually, I sit on boards. I'm sitting on some of the boards. Because I am a small business, I don't write grants. I've never really done the grant thing. I've only worked with nonprofits. I am not a nonprofit. So basically, I offer the outside look to a lot of the.
But I know in a board. What board you are?
I am on the governance board. I'm on the sub-regional table committees. I am on the business general committees, so that we can get things done. And I like getting things done. I don't want to just sit and it's great to be a member, but it's better to be somebody who can move things forward. And I want to move things forward.
So now
we're looking for more people to join. So if you want to join, that's great. But
what's the URL?
I know Yvette.
What's the URL?
Yes, Yvette is a member. She works on a sub-regional table, and she's really good. Because she's very much into the arts, and which we really need to get back into schools and in general, the appreciation for the arts because
Yeah, I'm pretty close to pretty close because our conversation with Yvette is around the tribe. The project is pretty close, so I kind of know what is going on. But I want to bring this up, the point that you are an accountant, a cybersecurity, and you do have a purpose. You really care about the community. So this is like for me 3 labels I would put again, if I can say that, on you, and that really shaped the definition of what a purpose-driven entrepreneur is.
yes,
Be a
because
professional, dedicated,
you can't just
reliable.
take. I'm
Yeah.
I'm firm believer you don't just take things and not give anything back. So you
I love
have
that.
you have to give. What is there going to be left if you just take? So, and that requires, that requires giving of yourself. Somebody gave to you. That's how come you're where you are, because nobody gets anywhere by themselves. And so the least you can do is give of yourself so that somebody else can move forward.
I love it. Now I can go home. That's exactly what I need. This is exactly the definition of our ideal member. You know, like you just said.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, because if everybody helps,
somebody
everybody moves.
wants to learn more, where can they go to learn more?
I am trying to pull that up for you right now. We just had our business and community leaders outreach, I believe, or no, our general counsel. And so we have a website. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
You just put it in the chat and I'll post it.
Yeah, because I have so much going on right now, I sometimes forget my little sheets. And thank you for bringing it up, Florin, because I've been meaning to mention it, but it's like I don't want to push my agenda. So I'm not trying to push
No,
my agenda.
I won't, because this is how we differentiate than any other group on the market right now. Quality of our members. I've been told in all the clubs. I've been told the same thing in Irvine. I've been told we have wonderful group of people in Carlsbad. That's why we are we just started a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce in Carlsbad, because of the quality of people.
Yeah,
And the
I
quality of people.
appreciate that. That's one of my big things is the quality of people, because you hear a lot of people that just talk, and it sounds like, and all they do is talk about themselves. So, and I'm real conscious about talking about myself all the time. I want to know what you're doing, what makes things work for you, so that we can have a real conversation.
Yeah. No, and
I think that's probably one of the characteristics of someone who's purpose driven.
Yeah,
right.
I totally agree with you, Jim. I totally agree. That's why we're a little bit different. Jim came with this idea with this show without asking for it, because he likes the idea of supporting the community and being of value. And Jim is exactly like you, Stephanie. He doesn't want to talk about his, the good part. He's putting together a show dedicated to single moms, to see how to support and help them shine.
Really, you do?
Yeah. Probably if you would have a
Talk to me. I want to help single moms. I'm very big on that, because I am a single
that's
mom,
great.
so I got it.
Excellent. Yeah, but we're doing another show, so we'll have you on.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, especially if they're trying to start a business, man. That's perfect. I think I don't know. I have a lot of respect for single moms, not just because I was one, but you have to manage so much. And if you have more than one child, you are managing way bigger schedules. And a lot of times the society doesn't acknowledge that, because you don't maybe have the best 9-to-5 job, and you are doing the job. You have the skill sets to do amazing work. You're an amazing manager, because you can manage 4 or 5 or however many children. Those are other human beings that you're managing. You allow them to grow. You know the difference between who's doing what and where and why, and you can still deal with it. So why aren't we tapping into that skill set just a little bit more?
So I so agree. Yeah. So awesome. I'll definitely.
And that goes for single dads too. That goes for single dads. It's just,
single
you're
parent.
the only person doing the job, you have to wear a lot of hats, and that is a business. And
The biggest difference I see in the stats between single moms and single dads is the income. The single dad's average income is around between 60 and 70 grand a year, and the average single mom's salary is around 33.
absolutely. And that's
It's a
always been a
huge
problem.
difference. And being able to manage everything at that level is it's a Herculean effort,
And
right?
amazingly enough, it gets done.
And it gets done. So
It gets
I want
done.
to explore that group. I think they're underserved. And thank you, Florin, for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a
I want to thank you both for doing what you're doing. So I have reason to bring something up. And
All right. All right. Well, we're about at an hour. So I want to thank you both for being on this episode. It's episode number 3. And of the Bright Business Talk Show. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us. And Florin, it's always great to see you and have you on the show. So
thank you so much.
And Stephanie didn't have to, she had to go. But okay. So Florin, thanks, buddy. And we'll see you. Oh, there she is. She's back. I'll bring her back.
I don't know what happened there, but okay.
I just got a green screen. So cool. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. And we're on again next week, live at noon Pacific time. So join us there. And so with that, have an awesome, purpose-filled week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
You guys hang on for a second. I'm going to end the live stream.
See you tomorrow. Mm-hmm.